That day, the temperature was negative. When I stepped out, the snow was up almost to my hip. If you are new here, like, subscribe, and share. So we're gonna continue from where I ended last week. I was talking about how I met my husband. If you haven't watched that video, go check that video from last week. Okay, now we are married. Your bro filed for me to come join him in the States. I went the first time and your girl was bounced. Mhm. I was bounced. Meanwhile, back home, my mom and my aunties had prepared lunch ready to celebrate the great news of me getting my visa to join my husband in the US. They had champagne set up, ready to go. Only for your girl to get to the embassy and I was bounced. Oh, I was so heartbroken. When I got back, I saw all that food. It was my favorite food. It was a great spread. If you know kenke and fish, some shrimp, octopus, black red peppers, makushito sauce, everything. The spread was great. Girl, I just looked at the food and left the place. I just went home, locked myself in my room, and went straight to bed. I was so disappointed, hurt, asking God questions. Why? What's happening? I felt so betrayed by God. I was in my feelings and I was crying, and my mom later on came to my room to console me. She told me God's time is the best. I should relax and hold on to my faith. God is doing something. I shouldn't be so down. So I wiped my tears. You're gonna have to eat. I went back to get some of the food and I ate after waking up from that nap. Yeah, I went to eat because you gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? You cry, yeah, it's over. Let's eat. Let's move on. So I called my husband. I was talking to him the whole time from the embassy. So he knew that I didn't get the visa. He was so bummed as well. He had everything planned and it just didn't happen. And mind you, prior to us getting married, when we met, he said he wasn't going to touch me. I was born again at the time, and he had also gone into a covenant with God and said the next woman he's going to meet and decide to propose to, he wasn't going to touch the woman till he took the woman to the altar. And that's exactly what he did. He didn't touch me the whole period. So, yo, we were both burning. Let's just be real. We were both burning because no action. You know what I'm saying? No action. And then I had to try again. So he came down, got some papers together. Fast forward, I got issued the visa. And this whole time that I was blaming God, he came back in August. We signed the marriage certificates in August. By November, I was on my way. I left the shores of Ghana, and by November 14th, I landed in the US. Now, my husband had told me that because I was coming through Minneapolis, St. Paul, if you know that place, Midwest, is so cold. So he brought a very big jacket for me coming out of the airport. And so because he knew, I mean, Ghana is hot the whole year round, so I wasn't going to get a good jacket back there. But your girl was draped. I had some fake Louis Vuitton going on. I you know how we rush when God is preparing something for us instead of taking time to enjoy the process. We don't enjoy the process. That was me. That's just me. That's just my personality, and God has a way of dealing with me. But yeah, so I got to the airport fully dressed in some fake Louis Vuitton purse and bag and everything. And look at that jacket that was going to be facing Minneapolis in Paul weather with Midwest weather. We're in the negatives. I had no idea what I was going to face. My husband said he had a jacket. I said, no, 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 no. The weather is not cold. I didn't know I was still in the airport because the airport was so big. And so, walking out from the airport, the breeze hit me. And I was like, babe, I changed my mind. Can I get the jacket back? back, please? Can I get a jacket back? He said, nope, you're going to learn today. So he didn't give me the jacket. It was even in a covered garage. So I walked to the car. It was just like maybe 10 steps. I was in the car. We walked to the car. And then I was like, why did you do me like that? He said, I told you it was going to get cold, but you didn't listen. Welcome to America. I had experienced London before. So I thought, well, it wouldn't be that bad. But this was wild. My husband had filed everything that needed to be filed. And so, if you know, once you get in, you need to get your social security card. One morning, he said, yeah, so social security card will be coming soon. Okay, prior to that, he took me to the office. I had to register and sign some papers. And so, when he went to work, I went into my husband's stuff, wore his clothes, like tripled, wore his sweatpants, got some shoes that was too big my size, got some of his socks which were very thick. I look like a crazy person. Got out thinking, now that my husband is at work, why don't I just kill time? I'm home doing nothing. Let me just walk to the social security office and just grab it. And I'm just gonna surprise. I was able to get the card whilst you were at work. Good wife. It was negative. That day, the temperature was negative. When I stepped out, the snow was up almost to my hip. That didn't deter your girl. Mm-mm. I walked from the apartment complex all the way to the junction. 15 minutes walk. It felt like 3 hour walk. I still kept going. The sidewalks were cleared, but it was cold. And I kept going and I was walking by the highway. So I was trying to retrace where he drove me to the social security office and then back to the house. I was trying to retrace the drive. Worst mistake of my life. Mind you, he hadn't taken me shopping yet. I had just come, like, say, 3 days or 4 days. I didn't have any winter gear. I didn't have a cell phone. I just had my Ghana phone. I didn't have a US line, nothing. The worst decision ever. I was walking, and out of nowhere, this man in the truck stopped and said, excuse me, ma'am, where do you think you're going in this weather? And I said, I'm trying to head downtown to the social security office. And he said, are you going to pick a cab or something? I said, no, I'm walking. Are you serious? You're walking from here to the social security office? In my mind, I'm like, what's your problem? Walking is okay. I mean, I can walk. It's not a big deal. The guy looked at me crazy. He said, if you don't mind, can you hop in my truck? I can drop you. I'm on my way to the house for lunch. I'm like, okay. Now that I'm thinking about it, what if something had happened to me that day? I didn't know this guy. I just hopped in the truck. He took me, dropped me at the social security office. I got in there and the people were looking at me like, you're here for what again? Your card? Ma'am. So the card will be mailed to your address on file. What? I did all this thing for nothing? For lack of knowledge, my people perish. I had no idea. I just went in blind as I was heading back. When I remember how the guy drove me all the way to the social security office, it was a long drive. Minimum, let's say 20 minutes drive. But in the beginning, when my husband took me there, or maybe I was all lovey dovey enjoying my ride, just smooching and getting all cozy. I didn't really focus on the drive, so I didn't know how far the distance was. On my way back, I walked like, let's say, 6 blocks from the social security office. I got to the junction. I didn't have a phone. I couldn't call an Uber. I couldn't do anything of that nature. I couldn't call my husband. I didn't even know his number offhand. So I couldn't even ask anybody to give me their phone to make a call so he can pick me up. And he was at work. So I knelt down to lace my shoe because it was my husband's shoe, remember? And so the shoelace was coming off. I knelt down to lace my shoe. And as I raised my head, from nowhere, I saw this man smiling at me again. Remember me? I said, yes, I do remember. You are the guy who dropped me off. He said, okay, I'm done with lunch. Are you done? Were you able to get your social security card? I said, no. They said they were going to mail it. So this guy said, if you're ready, I'm heading back to the office. My office is right on that highway. I could drop you wherever you live because I'm not going to let you walk back to your apartment in this outfit that is not suitable for this weather to begin with. I said, okay, why not? I hopped into the truck. He drove me back to my apartment. I didn't want him to know where I stayed. So I let him drop me a block before my apartment. As I dropped off, I said thank you. I waved him goodbye. So I turned back again to see the truck go. He was gone. There was no sign of him. I'm not talking like I walked in. No, I heard the truck move as I was taking my steps to go, like I was entering into the apartment complex. Because even though it was different apartment complex, it was interconnected. So the code, regardless of where you came out from, if you knew the code to the apartment complex, you could enter. I heard the car drive off. I turned and there was no car. He was gone like that. He was gone. That is how I met an angel. Make it make sense. Who was he? How? The timing of him picking me up when I needed to be picked up, picking me back up when I came back from the social security office, dropping me at my apartment complex. And then I turned back to wave goodbye and I couldn't see the guy. He was gone. So your girl here met an angel. He said, everything will work together for my good. A good man's steps are ordered by God. And that is exactly what I experienced. He said we should be careful because we may never know. We may be entertaining angels. I got to meet an angel. And when I called my husband to tell him what happened, oh, he was just speechless. He's like, I just brought you here. You're barely a week in this country. What are your people going to say? What if you had gotten frostbite? Do you have any idea what could have happened to you? What if the guy was I was like, babe, yeah. I didn't think of all of that whilst I was getting into his car. I believe God gave me the peace to get into his car at the time I needed to. Because believe you me, I could have gotten frostbite. Something else would have happened to me. I don't know. The possibilities were endless. But God dispatched an angel at my time of need. So when I tell you this God, like I have a relationship with this God. My favorite verse in the Bible is a man shall receive nothing except is given to him from above. My marriage was given to me from above. My travel was given to me from above because my steps were ordained by God. It was so evident. It still blows my mind till this day. I get goosebumps whenever I talk about this testimony. And so we're going to end it here. But next week, we're going to talk about how I had to wait to get pregnant. The false pregnancy, the disappointments, how the pregnancy happened, the challenges that came with the pregnancies. Then we're going to move on to the childbirth, the miracles within the childbirth. Oh, my testimonies, they're just endless. Like I always say, don't give up on yourself because your story is still being written. Do not write yourself off when God has not written yourself off. I am a living testimony, people. I am a living testimony. So if you ever feel that God is now with you, remember his answers are yes, no, not yet. There's still an answer because everything will work together for your good. Stay with him. He's never failed you and he will never fail you. I love you. Like, subscribe, and share. See you on another episode. Mwah. Bye.